Welcome to ETT. As you know, this is the weekly show, ETT TWIT, and this is the show where we talk about the news around the Caribbean. What's going on in Jamaica, what's going on in Barbados, Trinidad, Antigua. You know, the Caribbean countries, most time the news is really about a lot of stuff that is going on in Jamaica. However, it's really a Caribbean news vibe. So once news pop up about the Caribbean in my feed, I will definitely talk about those news. But again, I'm a Jamaican, so I tend to, have a little bit more focus on what's going on in Jamaica. But let's just jump in. The first article is this one. So as you can see, it's a Jamaica to begin 1 year switch over to digital TV technology. All right. So digital TV technology. Let's find out what they're talking about. So Jamaica is to begin a phase 1 year transition to digital broadcasting technology with the initial focus on the main urban centers as of January 2022. Broadcasters are to be allowed at least 1 year of simultaneous digital and analog broadcasting to give them time to change their equipment and test the new system. They might give them 1 year for kind of switch over. So as I said, we'll find out what it really is, because we're not really getting into the meat of the matter yet. So analog switch off is set for January 2023, said Information Minister Fayval Williams, as she made a long-awaited announcement during the ministerial statement in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. She said a committee has been established to manage the process. So apparently there's some serious things that go on. Never even know about. So they might talk about some money aspect of it. So let's jump into that. The minister said it is to cost the industry between US 18 million and US 20 million for the switchover to be facilitated. At the same time, she said it cost the household between 4,000 to 5,000 Jamaican dollars for a set-top box, which is a cable box in your house, for their television set, to allow for the digital connection. She said the set box will be a one-time installment. This is basically something similar to what I would say Flow kind of have it already, and Digicel have it already in Jamaica, and also a company called Ready TV. Yes, so you have Flow, Digicel, and Ready TV. So what they're basically do, they're giving you television, but the television that they're giving you is coming through more so like internet, and I think this is it. But what this article is about really is really saying that digital television will be readily available to everybody. So everybody will have access to digital television by 2023. Now, a man who don't necessarily even have cable or have Flow or Digicel or any one of these service providers who give you internet access will get this box in them house, and I guess you put something outside your house, almost like an antenna, or maybe it doesn't need an antenna, and then it will pick up the signal, but you're getting a digital signal versus an analog signal. Good news. These news will help to move us forward in the digital age. So let's jump into the next one. All articles will be linked in the description, so you can go and read the article for yourself if you want to, get more information. This is a next nice one, Again, I like when I see my country, Jamaica, moving forward in the digital age. Pushing forward, doing stuff that will benefit the whole country overall. So this one is over 80% of Jamaica's street light now smart LED. Before we get into this article, smart LED lights, they are not a bad thing, and one of the issues we have with the smart LED lights is that, one, they're not bright enough, so they're saving a lot of money because them use a less current. But living in Jamaica and being on the street and how far the light posts are apart, the smart LED light doesn't brighten the entire area that the light post is, if you understand. So right on the light post, they're good, probably like about 15 feet out, you're good. But after that, the light fall off. Now, the 2 light posts, them, I would have said them space about 100 feet or 80 feet, apart. So, right between that middle area, between the 215 or something like that, in that area is not dark, but it's not lit well. So, I don't really have a problem with the smart LED lights, but maybe them need to actually put up more light posts or put up 2 of them, whereas them position more like this. If this is a good idea, like this. So one shines that way and one shines that way. Let's read the article. Alright, so over 80% of Jamaica's street light now smart LED. Electric provider Jamaica Public Service JPS says it has hit an important success milestone in its street light program. Over 80% of the island's streetlights are now smart LEDs, with all island coverage expected by January of this year. So they must say in 2021, all the light them should be smart LEDs. There are presently 84,700 of the more effective smart LED lights, which is light emitting diode. That is what LED mean. So smart LED lights bulb. 18,000 of which were installed last year, despite significant challenges. So I don't think we really have to get into the whole meat of the matter, but I'm going to read this part because this part is an important part in terms of the locations that they are. So some parishes are now completely outfitted with LED street light, including St. Catherine with 22,000 lights, St. James with 10,000 lights, and Clarendon 6,000 lights. Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Anne are close to be fully upgraded with over 90% smart street light installed in place. Big move by JPS to put out this smart street light, but I would advise them, if them can afford it. I know this is an expensive venture to kind of put out the lights and keep it in such a way, but again, what I might even do, I might even shoot. No, I normally release this as I shoot it. So if I did really look on this article before, I could actually go and shoot what the smart light look like on the street, so you could see the difference and how far apart the light posts are. So I would say it work, but I believe that to make it more effective and actually give the place more illumination, they need to put 2 of the smart LED light. Well, 4, because 2 is what is in it, based on what I'm seeing there. So you see 1 strip down, 1 strip. They need to put like 2 of those things together, but almost turn them side by side, so it send lights in a broader area. Because I can tell you, I live here, so I know that the place can be dark sometimes with these LED lights. They are not as bright as the previous lights, which the light posts were put in, in place and space for the previous light and not these lights. However, JPS do them things same way, so we have to commend them on the effort for kind of moving forward and use less energy, which means they're using less coal or less gas to make this energy, which will overall benefit the environment. So let's move on to the next one. So the next one is another important news. I love this news as a person who is very interested in language. So this one, Mexico to deliver online Spanish classes to Jamaican students. Nice. This is a great news. Really, really amazing news. So Jamaican's Education Minister Phil Williams say Mexico and Jamaica will be executing a pilot program under which teachers from the Central American country will teach Spanish to Jamaican students. Williams made a disclosure following a meeting on Friday with Mexican Ambassador Juan González Mejares. The education minister said the project has vast potential and would involve 30 Mexican operating from their homeland, teaching some 300 students Spanish in an online environment. You can see how scalable this is as more and more of our children get devices, she said during a handover ceremony of 50 laptops to the John Mills Primary and Infant under the 1 laptop or tablet per children initiative. The devices were donated to the Kingston-based school by RPM and Associate Limited. Every time I see these news, I'm like, yes, these are amazing news. Whereas people are now understanding that this is what technology enables. So technology enables you to reach and give access to or gain access to a vast amount of resources. And this is just showing you that Jamaica can be a country where really I speak Spanish if we actually have Spanish speaking teachers, whether it be online or in person, teaching the students how to speak Spanish, because they're hearing that native tongue, they're hearing that native, language from a person who speak fluently in the language. So another amazing news. Let's jump into the next one, because today we're up on a roll. Another education one, which again I love to see these. So this one is saying educators from New York and Jamaica join forces for virtual education exchange. All these things could have been happening long before, but the pandemic is a blessing in disguise. Now, let's jump into the article. Educators globally has been impacted by the pandemic and are being challenged in the COVID era to find creative way to provide institutions to students. The manner in which teachers traditionally has been disrupted as they educate the next generation. However, one of the positive outcomes which emerge is the opportunity to reimagine education and embrace technology to enhance learning. One more thing the pandemic bring upon the place. Virtual education exchange. This has given birth to Virtual Education Exchange, a partnership between the Bronx Chapter School for Better Learning in New York City and Meadowbrook Preparatory School in Jamaica, set to take place on Wednesday, January 27, 2021. The brainchild of Fahim, a 4th grade science and social study teacher. You'll find a willing partner in Cordelia, a 6th grade teacher of the Kingston-based institution, and a recommended office colleague, Colleen Buckley. With the United States and Jamaica holding election in 2020, both teachers agreed to adjust their social study curriculum and teach the unit focus on government first. The objective was to cultivate genuine interest in the government and facilitate a better understanding of the government. The students of both schools were informed that they will teach their buddy student across the sea about what they had learned on January 27th. As part of an exchange, student will share music, poetry, art, and dance performances representative of their respective culture during the event. I love to see these things. I love to see these things, because this is what technology is there for. This is what technology should be used for. That exchange, that connection in the world. So I love this. We're jumping to the next one. So I think this is more Caribbean news. 5 Caribbean startups leveraging technology to thrive in a global pandemic. All right. So again, the pandemic is causing problems, but you have persons who are trying to figure out ways how to push forward and, benefit from the whole environment that we are in. As you know, we are Caribbean person. I would consider us resilient almost in anything. So these things we expect. So let's get into it. While 2020 was a dismal year for business, several Caribbean companies managed to not only survive but thrive in the social distancing world. Industry ranging from food to finance, data to delivery, but they have one thing in common: a technology-based foundation. Pandemic play in the hands of many tech companies as people transition to work from home, so the demand for digital tools and services skyrocketed. This saw doubled and triple-digit growth for company within the sector, while traditional businesses that already leverages technology were well positioned to grow. Say Kyle Meloni, CEO of TBR Labs, a Caribbean-based accelerated program designed to connect regional startups, corporation and government agency with global resources. Okay, so this is about the Tech Beach thing too. Meloni and his partner, Kurt Hamilton, has made it their mission to expand the region's technology landscape through Tech Beach Retreat, a platform built to connect the Caribbean with leading global technology companies. he has sought to provide startup with exclusive access to resources and mentorship from global tech executive. Love to see these news. This is about Tech Beach again, and I've already spoken about Tech Beach and talk about some stuff that Tech Beach is doing globally to make sure that companies can, tech companies locally in the Caribbean can access resources. I'm going to mention some of the companies that they're talking about because I know these companies. So you have MD Link Limited, which is a meditech company in Jamaica. You have WePay, which is a fintech company. And you have Blue Dot, which is a next Jamaican company. I think WePay is from Trinidad. I think it was started in Jamaica and now based in Trinidad. You have Blue Dot, which is a data company. I actually know the guy who is the CEO from it, Lauren Peart. I mean, personally know him. You have Drop Caribbean. I'm not sure what that one is, but all these companies are leveraging the technology that they have and using it to benefit a lot of persons around the Caribbean and in Jamaica. They are, as I'm saying, not just surviving, they're thriving in the whole pandemic because everybody is now running to the technology companies to help them now get their products or their services to a certain level. Let's jump into the next one. All right, so this one is, I wouldn't say dear to me, but I am a person who likes carnival. I have to experience this for myself. I haven't experienced it as yet to tell you what the feel you can get from it, but I see it on my feed and I'm going to read and see what it's about. Trinidad Caesar's Army, Antillea, is too real. Organizers say VR technology is the way forward for carnival. As the popular adage go, Rome wasn't built in a day. Trinidad production company Caesar Army has taken the time to lay the necessary building block as it create and maintain its empire within the Caribbean carnival industry. Now, as the popular Season of Fete is silent, company, through its Caesar Creative, is setting a new wave with its too real virtual world branded Antillea. The name signify the Great Antilles and Less Antilles. Coming together as one said, the group's command-in-chief, Jules Sebian. The discussion surrounding the idea started as early as April, during the period when Jamaica's carnival would have been held. It started off with a virtual island and more of a beach setting, but the objective was to create something we could build similar to the world, he said. We outlined a number of venues we are interested in exploring, but our number one priority was that we all agreed and believed there was a need to adapt and transform what we are good at, which is the power of experience, and not only for events, but for corporate marketing, for branding execution, and so on. Apparently, Carnival is going VR. Antillea is currently marketed as a virtual space where users can attend live events globally and interact with each other through an avatar, which is created on the Microsoft Altspace VR platform. It employs VR technology such as headsets and requires 2D mode on a computer base or a laptop. At present, it supports HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, Rift S, Go, and Quest, as well as Windows mixed reality headsets. So what they're saying is that with this not new technology, because Oculus Rift and HTC Vive has been here for us. So, and I don't know if you are aware of virtual reality. So virtual reality, you put on this thing on your face like a mask, strap it around your ear, you have a thing in your ears, and depends on if you're playing a game, you'll have like devices in your hand that allows you to do certain things. So what they're basically saying is that when you put on this device on your face, you are then put into almost like a physical space inside a carnival. So even though you are experiencing it virtually, because of how VR headset and how VR work, you feel like you are actually there. Because VR is an immersive technology. So once you put on the headset, if you have ever played a VR game, you would know. When you put on that head thing, your eyes basically see like it's a real world. If you turn your head like that, it kind of operates and move towards how you move. So this is actually a good vibes for moving forward with carnival, and me have to big up Caesar Army. Big them up. At least them a push forward, and I see how them can enhance carnival. So imagine when carnival start back, you actually have VR trucks driving in carnival, and you who not get for go carnival can stay at your yard and still enjoy carnival. You're up on the street, you can look around and see the people, them, you hear the music, you enjoy the vibes, and that is virtually, because that must be the future of it. Mean that you don't necessarily go to carnival, but you can opt in, pay a little money, and enjoy carnival from your home, hearing the music, seeing the people, seeing the vibes, without having to leave your country. So that must be the future of it. All right, so let's jump into this next one. COVID has helped us grow. So that's the headline. So now let's just see what they're saying. Telecommunication provider Greenlot Limited is growing at an astronomical rate in this COVID-19 affected period, because the new technology that allows it to provide its broadband internet and home entertainment services underserved and unserved parts of Trinidad and Tobago. All right, so based on what I've read, this company Green Dot Limited is, experiencing astronomical growth, as they said. And the reason for that is, one, people need internet. If you never need internet any other time, people need internet now, based on the COVID-19 and everything. So this company, probably a fairly small company, not as big as, a telecommunication company like Digicel and Cable and Wireless, which I'm not sure what Cable and Wireless name in Trinidad. I don't know if them name Lime or them name Flow. But whatever them name in Trinidad, those are bigger companies. So this company, Green Dot, is experiencing growth because people, I say, yo, we need internet, and them are, do what them need to do to make sure so them can serve the community. And I'm glad for see this. All right, so this news is outside of Barbados. New high-powered incinerator for the port. The Barbados Port Inc. new multi-million-dollar waste and energy incinerator is in no way similar to the failed Chahil project. That assurance has come from the port's divisional manager, corporate development and strategy, Captain Carl Branch, who has maintained that the proposed $20 million initiative being funded by the port is nothing like the $700 million plasma gasification project, which never got off the ground. Speaking during a town hall meeting today entitled Turning Up the Heat on Waste, Branch pointed out that there were major differences between the two waste energy projects. Secondly, the Chahil project was on a completely different scale from that of our incinerator project. The Chahil project was a 35 megawatt project which was supposed to provide electricity for 25% of Barbados at a cost of $700 million. Our project is a replacement of an incinerator to satisfy the port's need. So I don't know much about this news. Again, this news is coming from Barbados. What they're saying is that waste energy. So what Barbados is talking about is waste energy. And what waste energy is, that waste energy technology utilize municipal solid waste to create electric and heat energy through various complex conversion method. It's how them use the system to create electric and heat energy. And electric energy now can pump back into your grid, so you can use it to power your house or whatever you want to use to power. So it can reduce the amount of, the amount of gas you would end up using to create electricity, or it can reduce a whole heap of stuff. So people are exploring this, and I say Barbados exploring it, and I believe it's a good idea to explore it. However, the first one, Chahil, the $700 million, I would assume US dollars project, as they said, it never get off the ground because it was a 35 megawatt project, and maybe it was bigger than what the scope was too big for them, so it never really worked out. So I guess these things happen when you try for do certain things and it kind of look a bit bigger than you. All right, then. So we're going to kind of jump to international news now. And this international news is from Huawei. This kind of have a look to do with Trump, but more so with Biden. Huawei founder praises US tech in first word from company since Biden inauguration. Because I don't know if you know, but if you know, when Trump was in power, he was, where you call it now, was on this big battle with China. And the big battle with China caused a lot of Chinese company, Huawei, the Biden, these companies to have issues with America, because he was saying that, oh, China need to give back America a lot of the jobs that they have stolen and a lot of rigmarole. And that caused Huawei to lose a lot of money as it relates to operating system just cutting off Huawei. As a matter of fact, Huawei device cannot have like Google and certain programs. It just cannot have on it, because even the operating system, because Google is who make Android and Huawei cannot have Android on it, because once Trump made that sanction, them lose a whole heap of stuff. Them lose Google, them lose a whole heap of stuff. So Huawei has been working on their own operating system, and Huawei kind of now glad that now that Trump is out and Biden take over, them actually hear back word from some of the tech companies that them usually work with before Trump, and China really kick off. So let's read the article and see what they're saying. Shenzhen, China, Reuters, which is the newspaper for Reuters. So the US states remains a beacon of technology to be emulated by China's Huawei technology should consider cutting products in the wake of US actions against the Chinese firm founder Ren Zhengfi, if his same name pronounced, said in a remark made publicly on Friday. Ren comment in the letter to staff dated June of last year were shared for the first time on the company's message board, making them the first public word from the company since Joe Biden took over the presidency from Donald Trump. Huawei has remained largely silent about its prospect under the Biden administration after being targeted with several rounds of sanction under Trump, who said Huawei equipment poses a security risk. The company denies the charge. Trump just licked them with a whole heap of sanction, and it cost them million. Like, Huawei have some really, really good phones too. So imagine you were a Huawei user, or a Huawei, supporter. You like Huawei phones, and those sanctions just cut you off, bruv. So they lost a lot. And we don't know what Biden is gonna do. We don't know if Biden being there, it's gonna be much better for Huawei, but we have to just wait and see what's gonna happen in the coming months. Now, this next news is again a next news about Huawei, and not Huawei more so, but a company that was owned by Huawei, and this company is called Honor. Honor launched its first phone since being sold by Huawei after US sanctions. Honor was a company that falls under Huawei. I don't know if you know anything about the cell phone world, but most of the cell phone that come from over that side, you normally have a parent company, and then all of these names fall under the parent company. So the key points of the article is that Honor, a Chinese smartphone brand formerly owned by Huawei, launched the V40, its first device since being sold. US export sanction has cut Huawei off from key chips and software and hurts its smartphone business. So the Chinese tech giant sold Honor off to ensure its survival. V40 starts at 3,500 yen, $556, and is able to connect to Chinese 5G network. Honor, the Chinese smartphone brand formerly owned by Huawei, has launched its first device since being sold off. Huawei sold Honor, its budgeted smartphone brand, in November to a consortium of buyers in China as a way to help the unit survive in the face of the US sanction. Apparently Huawei sell this company to survive, because I must say the US sanction them did really cut them off, so it kind of did crazy upon them. Yeah, in 2019, Huawei was put on a US export blacklist called the Entity List, which restricted American firms from selling certain components to the Chinese technology giant. This including both semiconductors and software. Google was forced to cut ties with Huawei, meaning the US search giant Android mobile operating system could not be installed on the Chinese firm devices. That's what I'm talking about. So the sanction just made Huawei get cut off. Last year, Huawei sold Honor to Shenzhen Jinping New Information Technology, a consortium of 30 agencies and dealers. At the time, Huawei said that the sale was made so Honor could make it through the difficult time. But what I'm understanding is that they sold Honor so that Honor could get some resources to make it through this rough time based on what I'm reading. And I'm gonna look on this phone. So let me see if I can. Honor was cut off. Huawei basically split from Honor. Honor was sold so that Honor could survive in this climate with all the sanctions and everything. And since then, we're talking about 2020 thereabout. So Honor just released their first phone with the backing that they have now. And even though Honor is a budgeted smartphone company, this phone seems so bad in terms of specs. So here's the phone. Honor V40 smartphone runs the Android version 10Q operating system. The phone is powered by an octa-core 2.6 GHz quad-core Cortex A77 plus 2 GHz quad-core Cortex A55 processor. It runs on a MediaTek Dimensity 1000 plus MT6889. It has 8 gigs, 8 gig of RAM and 120 gig internal storage. It also have OLED and the screen resolution is 1440p, but it's more like 1236. But it's higher than 1080p screen with a DPI or a PPI, the pixel density of 493. It doesn't seem like a bad phone. It doesn't seem like a bad phone at all, and it come in roughly like about $500 to $600. So it doesn't seem like a bad phone at all. 8 megapixel f2.2 wide camera, ultra wide camera, 2 megapixels, and it have a 2.4 f-stop for the macro camera. Fairly decent specs, and it's also a 6.7 inches. So it's a decent size screen. It seemed like it have triple camera, which means everybody have triple camera now, so that's not a big. As I was saying earlier, what happened with the Chinese brand is in China you have a lot of parent company, and under the parent companies you have a lot of companies that seems like they are individual companies, but they are not. So one of the companies, it's like when you have Honor, you have a next company named OnePlus, and OnePlus is also fall under a Chinese company. So if you look at OnePlus and some of the other Chinese companies phones, them look very similar. It's almost like the same phone with a different name on it. And that's how the Chinese companies who make phone tend to operate. And I'm kind of glad to say, this phone, which is Honor, could I get Android on it, because Huawei phones can't get Android on it right now. So I guess, that splitting from Huawei kind of help it survive. Now, a next thing that I must talk about is Clubhouse. I'm not sure if you are aware what Clubhouse is. So Clubhouse is one of the new apps, one of the new popular apps them right now. And Clubhouse, I would have considered it more like a Reddit with voice or a Twitter with voice. So you can just jump onto Clubhouse and then you start to speak with persons who you know and persons who you don't know. And I consider it a much more interactive and a much better feel than, for instance, like an Instagram and trying to reach persons, especially like celebrities, and trying to even talk to them and ask them questions is not so easy on those platforms, because you can just say the questions, they might see it or they might not see it. But on Clubhouse, you have direct access to the person. If they're on a stage and you get to go on the stage, you can ask them direct questions. So let's look into it. So this audio only social app has Twitter alerts on it. So this is really a talk about Twitter alerts, but We want to talk about the Clubhouse app. So, for months, people have been clamoring to get access to Clubhouse, a buzzy invite-only social app where members join virtual rooms to have live, unscripted discussions. So that is what it is. Live, unscripted discussions. And topic ranging from future of San Francisco, with the city's district attorney participating, and Kanye West to start a pitch event, and various off-color conversation. Unlike other social networks, the platform is audio-based, not text, making it feel like an interactive podcast or a conference call. That's exactly what I'm saying. So Clubhouse has that feel, it has that vibe, whereas you're just in there, you're talking. As a Jamaican, and I'm using Clubhouse, I can just jump on Clubhouse, start a room about some topic, whatever is going on in Jamaica. Start a room about technology, talking about technology news, and then I can just ping my friends jump on. When their friends jump on to Clubhouse, because of how the system work or the algorithm work, it shows your friends, it shows your friends, your whatever group you are participating in. And that can help the group to blow up. Sometimes I go on to Clubhouse and you have groups with all 4,000 people in there. Most of those groups are either run by celebrity or talking about some business strategy or something of the sort. But Clubhouse is blowing up. However, Clubhouse is only for iOS right now. So if you have an Android phone, sorry, you just cannot access it. I'm sure that it will reach Android at some point, but right now it's only for iOS users. And as I say, it's booming. I've been on it. I've seen Wiz Khalifa. I've seen, Joe Budden. I've seen some of the big names when it comes to technology. I've seen a lot. Chris Doe. I've seen a lot of different big names. And you just go into the room and just listen to what the person them have to say. And if it's valuable information to you, whether you write it down or whatever you do, you can always capture the information. And as it is right now, it's 100% free. You have to get an invite though. So somebody have to invite you to it, or if you try and join it, if somebody see you try join it, them can actually invite you into it. And it's one of the apps that is actually running the place. I really enjoy it because I can just go on and all a reason I just talk to persons without feeling like like what a tweet is or what an Instagram post is. It doesn't feel disconnected. It feels more connected and more interactive when you are talking to the persons directly, and persons can just answer you and you can have a discussion, whether it be agree or you disagree. So Clubhouse is a vibe. I like it. All right, guys. So that's the end of this week in tech. And this show is really about Caribbean news, but I always just try and mix in some international news and talk about what's going on. So all right, thanks for watching. I really appreciate the persons who are taking their time out to just watch the news and support the channel. So until next time, I'm Shango, a creative from Jamaica. This is ETT TWIT. Bless up yourself.